Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. First of all, thanks to the committee for the opportunity given to us to participate at the third International Conference on Bioscience and Biotechnology. I'm Andi Maria Ulfa. I represent the writing team will present our research entitled Measurement Antioxidant Activity of Seaweed, EUCHEUMA COTTONII, and Coconut, COCOS NUCIFERA, M.Sc. Labuan Kertasari village is one of the villages that has abundant natural fisheries and plantation resources. In fishery areas, the main natural resource produced is seaweed EUCHEUMA COTTONII, while in plantation areas it produced coconut. So far, people often sell cultivation products in the form of raw or unprocessed material than those that have been processed. This is because the processed products are still in the form of snacks, such as dodol, candy, or crackers, which are rarely consumed daily. There are no superior products from the processing of these resources. This makes the marketing of processed products still low. For this reason, there is a need for product processing innovation that can become superior products from Labuan Kertasari village. Moreover, currently the development of Industry 4.0 requires us to be able to create and utilize technology as much as possible. One of them is by making products that can strengthen the regional agroindustry. One product that can be developed is face mask. Then, why do we have to process it into an antioxidant mask? Firstly, EUCHEUMA COTTONII is a natural antioxidant. As the result of research conducted by Nurjana et al. And Podunge A. et al. Show that antioxidant activity of seaweed is in the moderate to strong category. Secondly, coconut is a plant which has many benefits. One of them is as moisture for the skin. Coconut also contains natural antioxidant. Thirdly, masks are needed by many people of all ages, considering that the people have started to think that caring for skin is a necessity. And last, processed products have a higher economic value than raw materials. So, the purpose of this research are to determine the value of max antioxidant activity and to determine the composition of the max with the best value of antioxidant activity. The method used is a laboratory experimental method with the procedure of processing seaweed into the flour, then processing coconut into the flour, then mixing the two to make a mask, and finally testing the antioxidant activity. The procedure to making seaweed flour through an alkalination process is adapted from the keraginan manufacturing process from Balai Besar Pengujian Penerapan Hasil Perikanan or BBP2HP. The following steps are wash dry seaweed until the dirt is gone, heated with 6% KOH, which has been preheated to a temperature of 80 Celsius for 2 hours, then washed to the neutral pH. After that, oven for approximately 24 hours, and last crushed and sieved it. The procedure for making seaweed flour without alkalination process with the following steps are: first, wash dry seaweed until the dirt is gone. Second, soak it for 3 hours. Then pure using a blender. After that, filter and oven for approximately 24 hours, and last crushed and sieved it. For making of coconut flour, the following steps are: peeled and cleaned coconut, soaked into boiling water for 5 minutes. After that, grate, then pressed until the oil comes out. Then oven for approximately 24 hours at 60 Celsius, and last crushed and sieved it. For mixing of ingredients, the following steps are: make composition or combination from seaweed flour and coconut flour. The composition is 1 to 1 to 1, 2 to 1, and 3 to 1. Carried out on the seaweed flour with alkalination and without alkalination. And the last procedure is antioxidant testing. The first step, make a sample solution of the sample to be tested. After that, 3 milliliters of each sample concentration and 1 milliliter of DPPH solution was added. After that, the mixture was shaken and left for 30 minutes at room temperature. Then, the absorbance was measured using a UV vis spectrophotometer at a wavelength of 517 nanometers. Then, calculate the percentage of antioxidants. Last, search a linear regression equation between the concentration and percentage of antioxidant to find the effective concentration of the extract to reduce the ppH free radicals or the IC50 value. The result of measurement for antioxidant activity by making seaweed flour through an alkalination process can be explained at this table. From sample 1 till sample 3, all of them have very weak category. Then, the result of measurement for antioxidant activity by making seaweed flour without an alkalination process, sample 4 till sample 6. For sample 4 and sample 5, they have a weak category, and sample 6 has moderate category. The result of testing the antioxidant activity of the 6 samples showed that there were differences in each sample. The antioxidant activity is indicated by the IC50 value, where this value is inversely proportional to its strength. The higher IC50 value, the smaller the strength of its antioxidant activity. Conversely, the smaller the IC50 value, the greater the strength of its antioxidant activity. So that from the 6 samples, sample 1, 2, and 3, which are samples with seaweed flour processed by alkalination process, have very high antioxidant activity values, but are included in the very weak category. Meanwhile, seaweed flour that was processed without alkalination showed moderate and weak antioxidant activity values. Moderate and weak. The weak antioxidant activity is influenced by the excessive heating process, so that during the alkalination process, the antioxidant activity weakens. This is in accordance with what was explained by Tristiani D. et al., namely that the differences in the IC50 value can be caused by the amount of antioxidant contained in the extract in the time variation of 60 minutes and 75 minutes. The IC50 value decreased. This occurs due to substance and the solvent increases due to prolonged heating. The best antioxidant activity was in sample 6, which showed moderate category. So, the conclusion of this research are: first, there are differences in the value of antioxidant activity from the 6 comparison of max composition. And the second, the max with the lowest antioxidant activity value is a max with high antioxidant activity is a max with a ratio of 3:1, where seaweed flour is processed without alkalination. Okay, that's all I can say. Hopefully it's useful. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.